This is one of the most entrepreneurial things I have ever heard. If you frame your life this way, I think you'll end up having a better one. So I was just meeting up with a friend of mine who runs many businesses alongside a full-time 9 to 5, right? And I was just like, damn, you must be so good at delegating and creating systems and processes, because like there's no way that you could fit all of this in otherwise. And I cannot believe he framed it this way. He's like, yeah, I was kind of lucky, I guess, in that so early on, you know, most people do this by failing, but so early on, where I started this on the side, I didn't have a choice. It was either that or it didn't work, right? It was the only possible way. And so we've all heard stories of that time where people were like backed into a corner and they have no other option other than to survive, right? If your company is going to go under tomorrow unless you pull out 50 grand out your ass, you don't just do that on your casual Tuesday. But if you are given that sort of deadline and people like aren't going to get paid and, you know, employees are going to go and all this sort of stuff, like you figure out a way to find the money. And it's not something you'd often wish on people, but it's such an amazing way for him to frame this, so that he was lucky to have the entrepreneurial experience of being backed into a corner, and the only way to succeed was with this constraint or die trying. Hello. But I thought, what a strong mentality to frame life that way. I said to him, I was like, that's the most entrepreneurial thing I've ever heard. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons for his success and ability to do what he does, is he has created these self-limitations. He's put on himself additional constraints by which he's got to do his business and his company that match his lifestyle. So he's got a job that he only needs to do because he has chosen to do it, right? He doesn't need the money, but he wants to be there. And in order for him to be able to be there, he can't be doing everything else in his company. He can't be working in the business. He's got to be working on it in the time around his jobs, which is cool in some senses. It sounds super sexy. It does create its own problems, but I just thought that mentality frame is a fantastic one. So I just thought I would share so that I can look back on it one day and remember this story. So Ron Richter, legend. All right, guys, have a great day.